What's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day today. It's Christmas morning and my wife got me a bunch of new mid-range for the Jeep here. Alright, so this is the DS18 ZXI 354. Now, this to me is probably one of the smallest, loudest, full-range, mid-range. I'm going to be using it for basically mid-range. I mean, my amp's going up to 20K, so I guess it'll be alright. Should be nice and loud, have a high frequency tone come through it, but I just want to take a minute and admire the beauty of this cone and just how small that is. Like the spider, like it's really small. You can see my thumb here. The leads on it are just tiny. So hopefully they'll do good though. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff about these, and a lot of people in Kentucky been using them in their builds and they've been doing pretty well. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and use these connections that I have. It comes with these, but I don't really like the wire. The gauge of wire is really tiny and those connections look really cheap, so really thin wire there. So I'm going to be using these connections. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier gauge, and then of course I have this new roll of wire here, and actually you can pause it, take a screenshot. You can click on that right there, scan it. If you ever see me out at the shows, you'll see me. There's a sticker also here, install link, where I got the wire. ZXI 354. They're small, 3.5 inch full range speakers. Their frequency response is 120 hertz to 20,000 hertz. You can see they are 40 watt RMS, 120 watt max, and I'm going to be putting them right here in my dash. I have 4 of them, and there's no point in really having this. Set them right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I also have 4 8-inch. Now these I have 4 8-inch that my wife bought me for Christmas, and these are blowed. All 4 of them blowed, so I've got to replace those as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to be pulling all these out, and then I'm going to go ahead and I've got to drill some holes to run the speaker wire and everything. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and replace the 8s first, because it'll be a lot easier and quicker to do that, and then I can worry about running wires and doing all this for the front, for the small ones. I just put these on here because I want to make sure I had the right connections, because one of these is bigger than the other. So I just had to make sure I had the right connections for the terminals. So anyways, everything will fit nice and tight, and I'll be able to wire them up and have them nice and clean. And what I like is they actually fit right here perfect too, and they just look like they're made for it. So I think it's going to really add a nice little addition to the Jeep, to the sound stage up front. So I got my battery powered drill there already, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting to work on these. Alright guys, so this is my little wire, my jumper wire that I have that runs in between the two 8-inch speakers to run them down to 4 ohm. Everything's on there nice and tight. All the wires are crimped down, not going anywhere. Obviously, these are set up, so what I'll do is I'll just do a positive and negative to each side, and then on my wire running back, I just have one wire running back to the amp on one channel, so that'll be a positive and negative from the doors, and I'll just connect those to those. That way I don't have to cram a bunch of extra wires. And this speaker wire is 14 gauge with 14 gauge terminals, so I kind of like how DS18 has their speakers. That way, like I said, I can just run a jumper wire to each speaker and then another wire from each terminal out to the amp, which would be this wire here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off and put new ends on them, and then I'll run that back to the amp, and it's already wired in ready to go at the amp, so they'll be ready to go when I get the new ends on there. I'll just plug and play, and then same thing on the other side, and then I'll be working on the dash and get these 3.5s in there. And I'm gonna have to do a little bit of modification. I'm gonna have to drill some holes and run the wires to wire them all up, basically. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Now obviously I was just showing y'all an example of the terminals. That's the old one there, so we're gonna go ahead and unbox this first one here. Still got a little Christmas wrapping paper on it. Alright, so yeah, so these are the 8 ohms. Like I said, I have 2 in each door. Comes with a sticker, you know, which I already have some in the cab and on the side of the vehicle. But yeah, has some DS18 stickers. It comes with the manual, has SPL chart and a frequency, mounting, diameter, cutout, specifications, all that good stuff. It comes with a template in case you want to make door panels or, you know, a chicho wall or a box or something, of course. And then obviously the new speakers. So we'll go ahead and pull this wrapper off. Yep, everything looks good. And then I'll go ahead and take my meter and I'll ohm it out and everything before I wire it up, but it should be sitting at about 8 ohms. Alright, so like I said, very clean, very simple. You got the jumper wires running off to the other 8-inch, and then the ones running to the amp. Everything's connected on there nice and solid, so now I'll just go ahead and stick it in the hole and wire them up. Alright guys, so I got the old two out. I got everything wired up, and I decided to use some of this new wire that I have that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use the rest of this to run that 3.5 in the dash. But I went ahead and used a new piece for the jumper wire because the older one had a little bit of hurricane and stuff last year, and it looks like it got a little bit of corroded and stuff, so just went ahead and threw that out, and like I said, just went ahead and made a new piece. Everything's nice and connected now, so I'm going to go ahead and plug these two new speakers in, and we'll be done with the 8s, and then I can go ahead and get on the hard part and start figuring out how I'm going to run all the wire and wire everything up for the small speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in there like I said, and then we'll jump over and do the hard part. So now here comes the fun part. Now I've got to drill holes in my dash and run my wire down. Now, this one's going to be pretty easy. I can just drill a small hole right here, which will be basically right there, coming straight down, and then it'll come out, let's see, right here, and then I can run the wire through the dash. I'm going to run it over here underneath, and then if you look here, I'm going to have to drill a hole to come in, and also I'm going to have to drill another hole between this wall here, between the two vents, so that I can connect the speakers, and then also another hole down and underneath the dash and under there to the next one. So that's gonna be the most challenging part, but I pretty much got it figured out in my head before I got these, before I convinced my wife to get these for me for Christmas. And they are going to work out just perfect, so just like so. So now I just have to figure out, I guess I'm gonna have to drill these in here at an angle. I'm not sure. And if I did it like that, I can get at least 3 in there. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll get it in there nice and neat. Alright, we're in there. Nice little hole. I'll go ahead and clean all that debris out. Run my wires through there. Alright, so not too bad. Just drop the panel down. It pops down, and then just a couple of screws where I had my voltage meter hooked up. Right there, it just pops down, and then I was able to run the wire around, down through everything, and now pulling it up now in this vent. So I'll be able to wire it up, and I'm gonna drill a hole right there, like I said, through there, and then I'll be able to wire them up together and tidy everything up all nice and tight, and move on to the next ones. Alright guys, it's coming along. As you can tell, I've got the first one, second one, third one in there. These wires I still have to run to the fourth one here. I'm going to be doing that now. I just got to do my positive and my negative to my amp, and then it'll be good to go. I already got the wire ran out on the spool down here, so I can just run it straight to the amp. Everything's in the dash nice and clean. I'll have to re-glue this back up there once I put the wires in there in the dash and have everything in there good to go. But yeah, they look really nice. Like I said, they sit in there like flush, so looks like they were meant to be. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this last one done here. I just gotta crimp my end on here. Like I said, I gotta run it in the dash. I'm gonna go ahead and drill me a hole right here for the wire, and then I'll be good to go. Alright, yeah, I lied. So this is pretty much was the hardest part. I got about all the wire that I can get ran through that little hole. There's just a tiny little circular hole right underneath my box, and I had to take this stick that I made and pull the wire through. But if you can see behind the trim here, there's just a little triangle 45 right there, and then there's a hole in the back, and that's where all my wires run through for all my door speakers and all of the speakers in the dash. So, and also all of my RCAs. I have 2 4-channel RCAs running through there, and the single RCA running for my Slats 5Ks. It's a single to double up here, and then I have it splitting from each amp daisy chain back there. So, but anyways, I got everything pretty much done. Like I said, I just gotta pretty much tidy up this wire now, get it ran in there with the other ones, and pull up the slack, and then I'm gonna wire them in on the other channel here. I have a 4th channel open, which is, this is just running the 8s, so it runs the same frequency as the 8s in the doors. Alright guys, everything's done. It's all in there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on, do a low volume, just to see what's going on with it. See if they're making any kind of noise at all. Yeah, you can hear them, but the other mids and highs, just, they're so big, they take over control. But I just figured it'd be something figured it'd be something nice, you know, something different. I like the way they look. They look real clean. They look like they belong there. So, I mean, even if it doesn't sound like there's getting a lot of output out of them, they're doing something. I could always turn the 8s. I could turn these down a little bit, you know. But yeah, they sound all right. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the videos, guys, and like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.